Good morning, Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. Welcome to the pre-service meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes, get comfortable, and breathe. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. One more time, inhale. Exhale. And once again, inhale and exhale. And now, breathing exclusively through the nose. Bring your awareness to the breath. Inhaling fully and exhaling completely. Keeping the breath slow, soft, smooth, silent, and sacred. Just keeping the awareness on the breath, being aware of how the oxygen enters the body, how the lungs expand, the torso expands, and then be aware of how the air exits the body. And at the very end of the exhale, suck the abdomen in just a little to push all of the rest of the air out. And we breathe. And now, if you would, bring your awareness to the top of your head. And imagine relaxation flowing down the top of the head as if it's water flowing down the mountain, as if it's a stream flowing down the mountainside. Where now this relaxation goes through the jaw, let the jaw go. Relax the eyes. Let the neck and throat relax. And now allow the shoulders to let go. There's nothing to hold on. There's nothing to carry. Allow the shoulders to go loose and limp. Feel how that relaxation now flows down the forearms, the upper arms, the forearms, through the wrists, down the backs of the hands, through every digit of every finger. Now allow the palms of the hands to relax. Once again, bringing the awareness back to your shoulders, just let the shoulders relax. And now, feel the relaxation flowing down the body, where the upper back is relaxed, the middle back is relaxed, and now the lower back is relaxed. Then once again, bringing the awareness back to the shoulders, and feel the relaxation flowing down the front of the body where the chest is relaxed. Relax the solar plexus. Relax the abdomen. Now feel the relaxation flowing down through the hips, through the groin, down the thighs, through the knees, down the calf muscles, the shins. Feel the relaxation flowing through the ankle joints, down the tops of the feet, and then all the way to the tips of the toes. And now relax the bottoms, the soles of your feet. And we breathe. Now, with your mind's eye, scan the body temple and become aware of any tension, if at all. And if there is any tension, just bring your awareness there and breathe into that tension, and then breathe it into relaxation. Just let it go. Just let it go. Once again, bringing the awareness back to the breath. And no matter how slowly you are breathing right now, breathe a little slower. We allow the breath to guide us into the throne room of the heart, that inner sanctum, the Holy of Holies. As we slow the breathing, not only does the respiratory rate slow down, the heart rate slows down. And the brain waves are now allowed to move to that alpha level of consciousness. And this is that level of consciousness where we find our intuition, our memories, our imagination, and it is the gateway to our higher power. And as we allow ourselves to sit in the throne room of the heart, we become keenly aware of that presence within. That loving presence within, which is really your natural state of being. It is who you truly are. It is that which knows all that you need to know in the moment you need to know it. It is that which beats your heart without your conscious mind having to think about it. It is that intelligence that breathes the breath. And so we give thanks for just a few moments of this silent, holy tryst with the divine. Peace. Be still. Be still. Mm. How good it is to breathe. Out of the stillness, the activity of spirit is manifested. Out of the silence, the word of God is spoken. And so as we bring our awareness back to our rooms, back to the body temple, feeling the body temple supported by the chairs that we're sitting on or whatever the apparatus is, we still remain keenly aware of that still sacred place of the Most High, that throne room of the heart that is always with us no matter where we go. So we give thanks for this time spent in holy communion with not only the divine, but in this beloved community known as Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore. So we come back to this realm, so to speak, in a place of gratitude, grateful for the breath, grateful for this moment, grateful for this thing called life. So it's in gratitude that we continue to walk into this day, knowing that we are guided and directed to experience only the highest and the best. And for this, we give great thanks. So this concludes the pre-service meditation. Peace and abundant blessings.
Let's get back to hope. Let's get back to kindness. Take your neighbor's hands. Look him in the eye. Leave behind the hate. Forget about the spite. Dig into our hearts where the magic we will find. Let's get back to hope. Let's get back to kindness. This world, it does divide. This world, it does define. By wealth or creed or race. By how we keep the pace. We are all divine. And we can all decide to build our unity. Forward in the peace. Let's get back to hope. Let's get back to kindness. Oh, this world will bring you to your knees. We all know that we reap what we sow. Love conquers hate, so give it away. Let's get back to love. Let's get back to hope. Let's get back to kindness. Take your neighbor's hands. Look them in the eye. Leave behind the hate. Forget about your pride. Can we stop the game? Needing to be right. Let's get back to hope. Let's get back to let's get back to kindness. Let's get back to kindness. Namaste.
Good morning and happy October Sunday. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I added that. Yep, I did. That's my own notes. Anywho, before Reverend Ray kicks me out, let me focus and do what I'm supposed to be doing. In order to help with our method of recording service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Senior Minister, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is our speaker. Our musician is Teporah. Serving as today's practitioner, who led the pre-service meditation, is Eugene Holden. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Sonya, Chavis, and Theodore, Logan. Holding things down, working behind the scenes, is Jim Lefter. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us, and they would love it too. Before Eugene grounds us in prayer, let me share this. Eugene Holden has been a student of the science of mind and spirit for over 30 years and has been a licensed religious science practitioner for 15 years. For 10 years, Eugene served the World Ministry of Prayer at Centers for Spiritual Living Home Office. Eugene also served as Home Office liaison to the Diversity Commission, serving as trainer and facilitator. Eugene has been a well-loved contributor to the Science of Mind magazine for over 13 years, inspiring lives around the world. Eugene allows vision to guide him. It is prayer that fuels him. Eugene is deeply committed to his purpose of joyfully assisting others in remembering who and what they truly are, divine beings of light. Eugene believes that together we can reveal the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. What is heaven? Heaven is ever expanding good.
So join me in this prayer. And so as we take this collective breath, I recognize the source of this breath. And I am grateful for this breath because it allows me to speak this word. And I speak this word from a place of gratitude. I am so very grateful because I choose to recognize first and foremost this infinite intelligence that I call God. Yes, I know. Sometimes it is called God. Sometimes it is called Allah. Sometimes it is called Krishna. Sometimes it is called Yahweh. Sometimes it is called Olodumare or Vudun. But whatever it is called, we call it forth into this conscious awareness, recognizing that it is the only thing that is happening here. From this one power, from this one presence, all of life is manifested. It is maintained. It is supported. It is taken care of. Yes, I recognize that this one power is at the very center of all of life, from the little grain of sand on any and all beaches to the expansiveness of the galaxies. See, it is the very nature of this divine presence to permeate, to penetrate, and to fill the interspaces of the universe, meaning that there is no space where God is not. There is no space where God is not. The space between the breath, the space between the fingers, the space between ourselves in these rooms, it is still filled with the vibrancy, the frequency of pure spirit. And so recognizing and acknowledging that God is everywhere present at all times, I know that at all times, God is present right where I am, revealing himself in through and as the I am that I am. And as I stand in the awareness of this knowing for myself, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression of the divine right here and right now. See, this is what I know. Right here, right now, God is, we are. For it is not the life of God separate from our lives. It is the life of God revealing itself so beautifully in, through, and as our lives. Oh, yeah. There's only one thing happening here. The omni-activity of God being everywhere present. And so it is from my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word. I speak this word on behalf of all of us. Oh, yeah. I name, I claim, I declare, and I accept that this time is magnificent. For once again, we have come together by divine appointment for the soul's purpose of guiding and directing us to open up to be available to receive only the highest and the best. And as we receive the highest and the best, and then we get to give the highest and the best. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So yes, I call this time good. I call it magnificent. And now I speak this word for our spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, who continues to stand boldly on the foundation of unconditional love, knowing that it is love that guides him, knowing that it is love that opens up his heart, knowing that he has continued to say yes to being guided and directed to teach, to touch, and to transform lives in only the way that he can. So I know as Dr. Raymont Anderson gets out of the way, he allows spirit to move him in the way of spirit. And so for this and for so much more than these words can ever convey, I truly do remain forever grateful and thankful. It is from this space of gratitude that I just release this word, knowing that we have come together as a beloved community. I know that we release this word together, knowing that together, as we open up in this release, we know that this word must return unto us completely, magnificently, and abundantly fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we allow it to be. Life is good. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you, Eugene. At this time, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual, veneration of kami, and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. Here is some information for you. National Stop Bullying Day is an observance day that falls on the second Wednesday in October and is designed to raise awareness about bullying. This holiday is designed to bring together parents, students, and teachers together in a way that helps them reduce the incidence of bullying in school or online. Although this day was initially conceived as a way to reduce bullying among children, many people have also begun to observe this holiday to deal with workplace bullying as well. Time for announcements. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contracts Book Club, hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. On Wednesday nights, the Science of Mind textbook exploration group, facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And closing things out on Thursday night, the study group, facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. Interested in a community forum to discuss the questions Reverend Ray gives each week? Contact Sue Monahan for more information. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com. Courageous Conversations. The CSLGB C7 Core will have group and panel discussions with Q's and A's to encourage open, honest, and authentic dialogues regarding topics such as race, gender, and being LGBTQ. If you are interested in more information about this, contact Reverend Dr. Ray. If this fundraising vision inspires you and you are interested in serving on the fundraising committee in any way possible, contact the chair, Rainica Permetla, and come together to strategize the most effective ways to manifest funding. To get more information, meeting dates and time, and join the committee, send an email to rainica.permetla@gmail.com. Here at CSLGB, where every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday, did you know it is also a become a member Sunday? That's right. Every Sunday is a great day to choose this as your spiritual community, your spiritual family. The first step is to take the discovery class, which is offered online and can be taken at any time. For more information on how to become a member or what comes after the discovery class, visit the website or send an email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Welcome home. I crack myself up. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has upcoming classes. Foundations of Science of Mind. This is the entry-level class in the study of the science of mind. You will be introduced to the basics of the science of mind, meditation, spiritual mind treatment, visioning, and other universal spiritual principles and practices. This is a 10-week class, October 14th through December 23rd, 7 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The facilitator is practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. The investment is $270. To enroll, contact Sue Monahan. What do we believe? An exploration into the declaration of principles of science of mind and spirit, AKA the we believe statements. When we believe something, it affects our lives in very specific ways. And this tentatively scheduled as a 4-week class will give the participants the opportunity to explore each of the statements. The facilitator is Reverend Dr. Ray. Dates to be determined based on interest. The investment is a love offering. If interested, contact Tracy Rhymes. Jesus, the man, myth, Messiah, and metaphysical master and mystery. The class will explore who and what Jesus is to us today. Is he a historical person who actually lived? If so, what is the impact of this on us today? The facilitator is Reverend Dr. Ray. Class begins to be determined based on interests. The investment is a love offering. If interested, contact Tracy Rhymes. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website, cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com, to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. If you would like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray, type JOIN to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did. On the count of 3, we shout, prayer works. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Woo, that was loud. Thank you. We, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Our musician, Teporah, formerly trained in composition, piano, and songwriting at Oberlin and Peabody Conservatories, as well as in Towson's State's Jazz Program. Was raised in a musical family with an oboe-toting, guitar-picking mom and the music of the 60s and 70s to feed her soul. From Odetta to Debussy to Armenian rhythm, her music is imbued with a uniquely inspired fusion of musical influences. Teporah blends these together to breathe originality and life into her body of spiritually centered compositions and songs under the moniker Love Rising. Teporah's newest project is with a music licensing agency out of LA, where she is building a career in the TV, film, and ads world. Check her out at facebook.com/Teporah Music. I give you Teporah.
Good morning, beautiful people. I'm so happy to be here with you again and to experience and share in this wonderful prayer that we're doing together here. So this song is called Let's Walk Together, and it is about being in unity and seeing all of us together as the whole. We are one family, we need each other, we are whole when the world is built on love. I see you, you see me, we are not alone. I need you, you need me. Let's walk home together. I'll be your bridge. Let's walk together. You hold me up when I am down. Let's walk together. We are one, one. We are one. When you're sad, I cry. I feel your pain just like it's mine. When I'm hurt, you heal me with your loving eyes. We are whole together. We are whole together. We are whole when the word is made of love. When the word is made of love, let's walk together. 'Cause you hold me up, let's walk together. And I'll be your bridge, let's walk together. 'Cause I can't stand if you're falling, falling. Ooh, 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 I'll be your bridge, you'll be my light. 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 I'll be your bridge, you'll be my lighthouse. Let's walk together. 'Cause we're not alone. Let's walk together. I'll be your bridge. Let's walk together. 'Cause I can't stand if you're falling, falling. Ooh, 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 Namaste.
Thank you, Teporah. Now, Eugene will lead us in a spiritual practice.
Hello again. So for today's spiritual practice, I have a reading. And it is entitled The Beloved Community, going along with today's theme. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke about the beloved community as being a global vision in which all people can share in the wealth of the earth. He is quoted as saying, "Our goal is to create a beloved community, and this will require a qualitative change in our souls, as well as a quantitative change in our lives." This goes hand in hand with what Dr. Ernest Holmes would his popular saying, "Change your thinking, change your life." Now, for us to see a change in our lives and our community, we must be willing to see that change in ourselves first. As the beloved community, we come together in common unity for the good of all people around the world. Whether you are black, white, brown, yellow, or red, it doesn't matter. You see, everyone wants the same things. We all want a warm place to sleep, clean air to breathe, fresh water to drink, and good food to eat. We all want to love, and we all want to be loved. We are truly one in this thing called life. As Dr. King stated, this will require a change in our souls and our lives. And now is the appointed time to make that change within ourselves. Now is the appointed time to make that change within ourselves. We all must be willing to see past the limiting beliefs that keep us separated from one another. We must be willing to let go of the lies that kept us apart. We really do have more in common than we have been taught. We really do. We must be willing to raise our consciousness to see that vision. That vision, there is only one life. That life is a life of the infinite presence of God, showing up as one divine and beloved community. Now is the time to tap into the global vision in which all people can share in the wealth of the earth. Now is the time to take part in creating a world that works for all. This is a beloved community in action. And so it is.
Thank you, Eugene. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Reverend Rev, this is not the Apollo.
The Apollo.
No.
Oh, because I rubbed Buddha's head.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Good morning, everyone. So let's breathe in all of that amazing deliciousness we've had so far, from pre-service meditation, pre-service music, in-service music, and in-service spiritual practice, and all of the stuff y'all are sharing, all the love you're sharing in the chat. Because the theme must continue on what's already been laid. Like this foundation, as Eugene just said, this idea of the common unity, what it means to be in community. How do we demonstrate this thing called the beloved community? Today, October 3rd, we are talking about what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said when he often spoke about the beloved community, a world in which all people share the wealth of the earth and violations of human decency are not tolerated. Breathe that in. We see the future and our current station as an embodiment of this realization for all. And we lay the foundation for this experience in the way we live our lives daily. That's the key part, how we show up. Now, within CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, one of the statements in our global vision says, we envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience, right? That's the global vision. But check this out. Have you ever driven down the road and there's something in the middle of the road? Now, it might be, in this case, a tree. Sometimes it's a duck or a Canadian goose. Well, that's if you live near us. Sometimes, it's road construction, but sometimes there are things that block the path. Well, what do? What is the obstruction that is in the path, right? So what is obstructing us from living what that global vision spoke about? What is preventing us or shifting our consciousness so that we are not able to live and grow as one global family? What is causing us to not be able to respect and honor? What is causing us to see a disconnectedness within all life? What is the thing that's in the road? What is the thing that's holding us back? Now, an interesting thing is, so, I do what I do as part of my research and looking at, how I want to deliver today's message. And I come across this image, this website, what to do when you see a road obstruction when driving. And I immediately thought, well, what do we do when we see an obstruction in our lives? Well, other than going to csogreaterbaltimore.org, but what do we do? So this website had a list of things of how to handle an obstruction in the road, which, as I always say, anything that is happening in the physical realm, we must understand that there is a spiritual template, a metaphysical backing, a metaphysical grounding that we are invited to also see as well. So if there's a technical way to handle an obstruction in the road, then there must be something that guides us to how to handle obstructions that we experience in life. Well, very first and foremost thing is you have to identify what the obstruction is, right? You have to know what it is. That's why we go get a physical, we go to the dentist. We want to know which tooth, what's going on, where in my body. We have to identify what the thing is. Then don't distress about it. Don't get all bent out of shape. Feel what you feel, but don't allow yourself to become so obsessed with and so, oh my God, Tracy, what? There's a duck in the road.
Oh my.
We're never going to get where we're trying to go.
Let it go.
Right? Let it go. So don't distress. Feel the anger, feel the whatever that is, but don't distress about it. Then assess, make an assessment of what's going on. Do we need a detour? What spiritual practice am I invited to do? What practitioner do I call? What is it that is mine to do regarding this? Then process it. Okay, so if this, then that. Don't digress. Don't go backwards and say, if you had listened to me, then when we took exit 17, we wouldn't have ran into the ducks at all. Like, don't digress. Don't go into the whole, don't go there. Blame game, because we do that a lot, even within ourselves. It's my fault. If I had gotten up 20 minutes earlier and we left 20 minutes earlier, then we wouldn't have, right? Like you wouldn't have forgotten your wallet because I would have been able to remind you.
Really?
And then make progress. Move. Just because it's there, just because you are still able to move. But we are invited to engage the process, right? We have to engage the process. Ernest Holmes says, love is the only final security in the universe. Now be mindful, pause. The love he is talking about is not the syrupy, Sleepless in Seattle. No diss to that movie, but it's not a love story kind of love. This is love referring to that which spirit is. Spirit, because we could put the universe is the only final security in the universe. God is the only final security in the universe, right? It's what it is. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe and the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. Love really is the fulfillment of the law of good. Love alone can heal the world and enable people to live together in unity and peace. Once again, this kind of love is not about getting in a circle singing kumbaya when someone is putting a knee on someone's neck and killing them. That is not this love. Be aware. Breathe. This is also not the kind of love that says, oh, I know you were traumatized. I know you were raped. Just forgive them and get over it. No, that is not this kind of love either. This kind of love says, do what you need to do to heal you. And if you reach a place, ideally that would be great, reach a place where you feel back in harmony with your own being and sacredness, because it's never about them. That's this love. Learning how to be at one with, not bypassing or jumping across the chasm of to hurry up and get to the, let's all just feel good and, positivity, yay, kumbaya. You put your right foot in, it's not that. But What are we supposed to do with this thing called love, however? Because Piglet says, hey, Pooh, how do you spell love? To which Pooh replies, Piglet, you don't spell it, you feel it. Aww. So how do you feel? Now remember, we're not just talking about the syrupy, emotion of love. Very easily, Piglet could be saying, Pooh, how do you spell God? To which Pooh replies, Piglet, you don't spell God, you feel it. You don't spell beloved community, you feel it. You don't spell oneness, you feel it. In Science of Mind 365, second paragraph, Holmes reminds us, feeling about. So let's start. There is an intelligence in everything, from the smallest atom to whatever we think of as big. And that intelligence must, of necessity, respond to us intelligently. God is always acting upon itself. Then, automatically, we will have to assume that it can only respond to us at the level of our belief in, knowledge of, feeling about, acceptance and embodiment of, and identification with it. Love is meant to be believed in, known, felt, accepted, embodied, and identified with. Now, thanks to the Greeks, there are a great many ways that we can categorize love. Philia, pragma, storge, etc. Then you get to agape, unconditional, love without bounds, love without condition. Now, in terms of these are the ways that we feel and identify how to express love. It's important to be mindful and be aware, where is my obstruction? Philia, love of friends, connecting with community and friends. Storge, how you love family, birth family or family of choice. Well, what if I have an obstacle to, my family abused me and I don't, I'm going to store my storge in a storage unit where I don't never have to see it.
Well,
what does that do for me? What does that do for my beloved community? What does that do for the world? So being mindful, how many people misinterpret eros, erotic love, for philia? You automatically see someone hugging, you're like, ooh, they must be booed up.
come on.
No, that's a friend. Why do we say men aren't supposed to express emotion? Because we identify it with certain kinds of, that's weakness. Certain things on here, it's weakness. And yet we understand, as Holmes said, love is this power and presence that binds us, connects us. Is that not what Yoda said? The force is that which binds us together. It moves in us and through us and as us. When we know how to believe in love, believe in, have knowledge of, feel it, accept it, and embody it, then it becomes a transformative power. It's not just something in a greeting card. It's not just something in a box of candy. It's not just in a gift. It's not just in a hug. It's not just in a sexual encounter, but it's in how you make dinner. It's in how you greet people in your neighborhood. It's how you pump gas, how you do your gardening or your art. It's how you do, wait a minute, do we not say how you do anything is how you do everything? So how you love anyone can become how you love everyone. How you see God, namaste, in one can become how you see God in all, including yourself. Ernest Holmes says, Compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in mutual understanding and in the unified attempt to uncover the divinity in each other. Compassion and caring. But see, there's this piece to compassion and caring that we often miss. Self-compassion. We cannot give to another what we refuse to give to ourselves. Being kind to yourself, recognizing common humanity, and practicing mindfulness are just some of the ways that we are able to enact, embody, engage this thing called compassion. Brene Brown says, a deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all people. Breathe that in. All people have a deep sense of wanting to be loved and wanting to belong. We are a communal species. She goes on to say, we are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. We are wired for this. We are hardwired for God to be what it is as us. That's what that means. And how God shows up biologically, how God shows up cognitively, how God shows up physically is the wiring. It's the very genetic, spiritual DNA, physical DNA, biological DNA. It is all that we are. And we are wired to be God, to love as God, to be loved by God, and to belong to one another as God belongs to itself. Bell Hooks says, one of the most vital ways we sustain ourselves is by building communities of resistance. Now, let's pause, because I know some of y'all were like, but what you resist persists.
Yeah.
What she's referring to, remember that phrase not too long ago where it said, we will not tolerate certain types of behavior, certain stages of consciousness. We resist it, meaning we stand for what is going to heal that. We speak up when we see or hear of an injustice. Resistance does not mean, because check this out, I guarantee you that if one of your children was in the process of being grabbed by someone at the school bus stop, and you tell your child what? To move, is that not resisting? They are resisting being taken, right? They are moving in the opposite direction of the person who is moving them. That's resistance. So resistance in and of itself is not the enemy. Breathe. She goes on to say, building communities of resistance, places where we know we are not alone. Places where we know we are not alone. If we're talking about beloved community and recognizing that you are not alone, then we recognize even when I feel alone, because there is this teaching, because God is all there is, then even when I am by myself, I am never alone, because that which is the infinite is always breathing itself as me. And when I can anchor and ground in that, even while feeling alone and abandoned, and remind myself, believe, love, have knowledge of, spirit, I feel lonely, I feel abandoned, and yet I know that there is no way that I truly could ever be, and I breathe. You are not alone. You never have been, you never can be, you never will be, because you are the very incarnation, individualization of the universe in human form. Breathe. S. Kelly Harrell says, we don't heal in isolation. We heal in community. Why? Because that community, our common unity, our oneness of spirit is where we heal together. It takes a village to raise a child, then it takes a village to heal a child, to nurture a child, to pour into the life of a child. And are we not all children of someone? So it takes me to pour into you. It takes you to pour into Tracy. It takes Tracy to pour into another. We all are here, healing, growing, loving in community. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says, our goal is to create a beloved community, and this will require a qualitative change in our souls. This is what Eugene read earlier. Qualitative change in our souls, as well as a quantitative change in our lives. It's not just about what you do in your head. You can think all you want about a world that works for all. It's a world that works for all. Oh my goodness, I'm grateful and I'm happy that it works for all. Come on, people. We understand that you can think it in your head all you want, but until you live it, until you embody it. Did it not say, believe, have knowledge of, feel it, embody it, live it? That's when we get to see. Well, what did dude say? What's his name? Gandhi. What did he say? Be the change. Be it. Don't just do it, because sometimes people, they'll do something. Oh, that was a random act of kindness. A random act versus doing random acts of kindness. Every action that I engage in is an act of kindness. See, when you are being it, you can't help but to do it. They are one and the same. Bell Hooks goes on to say in another place, breathe on this one. Beloved community is formed not by the eradication of difference, but by its affirmation. By each of us claiming the identities and cultural legacies that shape who we are and how we live in the world. See, it's one thing to say we are radically inclusive. We are welcoming, affirming stuff. But if we're not living this, if we're not embracing all of the shades and all of the races and all of the gender identities and all of it, embrace it all, because it's all of the ways that God is showing up. Until we do that, then we are not truly radically inclusive, welcoming, affirming. So therein lies the practice. What is the obstacle that I have to this? Where do I not affirm? Breathe. Because ultimately, this whole idea of being a beloved community is about how you build bridges, not walls. It's about how you connect hands, how you embrace, how you come together to communicate and collaborate and cooperate in the building of a world that works for all, in the building of a life that works for you, in the building of a family and a home that works for that family and that home, that community and that neighborhood, that city and that state, that country and that hemisphere and the world. It takes each and every one of us to do the work that we are called to do. G.K. Chesterton says, beloved community is not an idea that has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and not tried. Talk about a kick. It's difficult and hasn't truly been tried. Come on, people. We got smartphones that hold more information than those computers we used to use back in this, right? We've got more information. I'm not putting nobody's age out to Tracy, calm down. It's got more information in the palm of our hand. A watch, right? Thank you, Tracy. Smartwatches now. It's not even a phone anymore, it's a watch. James Bond, 007. Meet George Jetson. Scotty, beam me up, right? Like, come on now. We already know. And yet there is still this thing called dis-ease, discord with races and sexual orientation, etc. Is it not time for us to try it? Even if it's difficult, to do it anyway. Because Yoda said there is no try. Either do or don't do. Relax, people, right? Just do it. Just do it. Breathe. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson says, the old way of rugged individualism has gotten us where we are today. Some things have been beneficial and many others detrimental, not only to our thriving, but literally to our surviving. Take a breath. Tracy said, take a breath. Literally, some of our rugged individualism is killing people and the planet. We are right now called to a new way of interdependent, communal nurturing of all life and of the planet itself. This new way of being requires us to engage in the practice of radical, revolutionary love of self and to envelop as much as we are capable of all others. Love yourself so much that from the overflow, other people can't help but to be wet. They can't help but to feel the shine because you love yourself. I love myself so much so that I can love you so much, so that you can love you so much. And then you can love not only me, but that person and all of them and everything else. This does not mean we accept discordant, destructive behavior. It means we allow love to address it and to heal what needs to be healed in the world. We don't bypass it. We use our spirituality. We use our radical love to heal it. Emma Curtis Hopkins says, look, people, this is my remix and my paraphrase. This ain't how she spoke. Listen here, people. People are going to do things that are going to break the law. People are going to do things that you're going to look at and be like, ooh, wow, that's just off the chain. Then what do? You love them while you are putting them in jail. You love them while you are putting them in a mental institution for them to get the treatment they need. Now, in our day and age, we understand that the prison system and the mental health system need an overhaul as well, because they also are part of a system built on rugged individualism, capitalism. And so right now they don't work the way they could. And so we apply love to address and to heal what needs to be healed in the world, wherever it is showing up. And we breathe. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And you don't have to do it alone. Why? Because you're not alone. You are not alone. I felt Tracy singing. We are here with you. Like we're all in this together. One conversation at a time, one thought at a time, one human interaction at a time, one prayer at a time, one Reiki session at a time, one therapy session at a time, just one hug at a time from the person that don't like getting hugs, right? Rainika, I hope you're watching this. This week's assignment, your spiritual practice. Journal about what are the obstructions that you find in your life? What prevents you from living your best life? Just journal, write it down. And it doesn't matter, could be a person, could be a situation, could be an experience, a memory, whatever it is. What prevents you from living your best life? When you explore those obstructions deeply and honestly, what do you find as a possible strategy, a plan of action to help you remove them, to transcend them, to heal them? And before I forget, don't feel stressed if you're like, don't take notes. Just send an email to me or Tracy, and we'll make sure you get a copy of the slides. Just reminding you of that for those who may be here for the first time or those who may have forgotten. All you got to do is send an email and ask, and the slides will be sent to you. Just ask. What assistance are you seeking? What assistance are you seeking, requesting that will help you to transcend, transmute, transform the obstacles in your life, your family, your community, your city, your state, your country, your planet? What help are you asking for? What help are you seeking in order to do this work? And then lastly, and don't forget, Sue has made it possible that we can have a community forum to go over these questions.
Just let her know.
Just let her know. Just let her know that you're interested.
I told you earlier.
Tracy told you earlier, in case y'all can't hear her. And the last thing, have a conversation with 4 diverse people. And I specify that,
Yes.
Meaning, if I am a Black gay man, then I should have a conversation with a Black straight man, or a white gay man, or a white straight woman, or someone younger than me, someone older than me, someone who doesn't live in the same country, someone who their first language is different than mine, whatever it is. Diverse. Find diverse people to converse with about what beloved community looks like, what it feels like, and what it means to you, and what you believe or you feel that it will take to manifest it. Breathe. This week's declaration, if you are feeling so aligned, first I will say it, and then if you do feel aligned, repeat it with me. I am a presence of divine love wherever I am. Together, I am a presence of divine love wherever I am. Breathe. Breathe in all of that. You are a divine presence of love wherever you are. Oh, speaking of divine love wherever, right now we're going to put our hands together and welcome back to the stage. Welcome back to our minds, our hearts, and our souls. Another individual who is the very divine, loving presence of spirit, as Teporah blesses us with her divine gift of music and smiles. And I could go on, but we know we love you, Teporah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love you guys so much too. You have no idea. When people ask me what I do for a living, I'm like, if you only could just join me, come along. It's just beautiful. So thank you, Spirit, and thank you, this congregation, and Reverend Ray, and the interpreters, and Tracy, and everyone, and Eugene, for bringing me into your fold. I wish I could see you singing with me, but you know, Zoomy Zoom is what Zoomy Zoom is. So I need to know that y'all are gonna sing and clap with me, so I can feel your energy. So this is Ricky Byers, Holy Holy Way. I write down all the music that I sing in every service, and I know I sing this twice a year with you guys, but that's because we all love it so much. So hopefully it's not overplayed. But we need our Ricky Byers. So, Holy, holy way. We want to serve our community. We want to love in our community. We want to live in our community. We want to be kind in our community. We want to be compassionate. All of these things. This song expresses so much to me about how I want to live in the world, and I know you feel the same. I want to love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. I want to love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me know that love is all around. 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 I wanna love in a holy, holy way. I wanna love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways of all. Let me learn from all the ways of all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let my steps reveal a path of peace. Let my steps reveal a path of peace. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Wow, thank you for that, Reverend Ray. That brings me back to us doing that in DC with Ricky Byers, and you were up there moving with the music, and it was so magical. So thank you so much.
Now I'm on mic. Y'all can hear me before. Thank you, Teporah. Blessings. Thank you. Much love. Oh, yeah. I love getting to play with you. Like we get to have to back to service because we could go on, woman. We could go on.
You ready?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna move on. Tracy said, "Move on, man. Move on." Okay. I'm still moving in a holy, holy way, Tracy. Let me laugh in a holy, holy way. I do that every day. Like we should add that as a lyric. Let me laugh in a holy, holy way. Okay. At this point in service, we are anchored and grounded in this spiritual practice of tithing and donating, where we are spiritually fed, where we are in the exchange of service, and where we are keeping the lights on, as Tracy often says. Like, we understand that this entity called CSL Greater Baltimore is also a business. So part of manifesting our new right perfect space and having various ministries and musical equipment and stuff and stained glass windows and a labyrinth and whatever else came up envisioning, because there was a good bit of it. All of that stuff happens when we give share into the community. Now, if you are new to this service or new to this community, you may not know this. The CSL Greater Baltimore Practitioner Corps, in addition to their already scheduled monthly tithes, have pledged to raise, to donate, to tithe an additional $25,000. That's on top of their regularly scheduled tithes. As of 9/23/21, that amount is $13,350. The community's matching pledge of $25,000, which is also on top of their regularly scheduled tithes, as of same date is $1,400. Now you may be asking, well, Reverend Ray, how do I tithe? How do I give where I feel spiritually fed, where I believe in this community and I am a part of this beloved community and spiritual family? Tracy said, how? You can do so through PayPal, through text to give, through the postal mail service. And if you ever have any questions or you want to know more about, well, how can I divide up my tithe and say 25 to the new building fund and 25% to youth and family and 25 to musicians and 25, like, how could I do that if I wanted to? Simply contact Sue Monahan or any of the board of trustees, or go to the website, cslgreaterbaltimore.com/give for more information. Or if you forget, he said PayPal and something else. Was it Venmo? I don't remember. All you gotta do, go to the website and you will get the information. Blessings and thank you. Breathe. Tracy's like, dude, because I'm still holy weighing. It's Teporah. She filled me up with so much joy that we know that when I'm filled with joy, this thing moves exceptionally fast. And the interpreters do. Who's interpreting right now? Sonya. Sorry, Sonya. I love you. Forgive me. Breathe. Okay. So here at CSL Greater Baltimore, we recognize that wealth, abundance, and prosperity is not just about dollars and cents. It's also about how we show up as beings, how we show up with an abundance of creative ideas, how we show up with a prosperous attitude of kindness, generosity, how we show up with the opulence of being unapologetically demonstrations of spirit. And this declaration of financial wealth and abundance declares that, as well as what it means to know that we have an infinite source of all that is, where all of our financial needs, desires, etc., also flow. So if you feel in alignment with this, then say it with me. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. How awesome is it to know that each and every one of us is a divine incarnation of love and unity and peace and infinite wisdom and awesomeness. Like the very being that you are is an awesome being. But if you don't go out in the world and be, right? Like, let me get closer. If you don't go out in the world and be your awesome self, then how does the world get to see it? How do they get to feel it? How do they get the permission to let their awesomeness shine as well? So today, as Tracy said, go out and be awesome. Be unapologetic in your awesomeness and shine brightly. Speaking of shining brightly, today's practitioner on duty, Eugene, Shifu Eugene Holden, Shifu. Sorry, is available for after, y'all messing with me. Oh, let me kung fu in a holy, holy way. Is available for prayer after service. Type the word prayer in the chat box and Tracy will put you in a breakout room so Eugene can know the truth. And declare the truth. And keep in mind, that truth doesn't have to be something like, Eugene, I got back pain, help me. The truth can be, hey, Eugene, check this out. I'm good. Like, life is great. You know, I just got a new job. I'm good. I found this new shade of lipstick that's popping. Like, whatever it is, I'm good. My eyeliner, boom, it's sharp today. And it could be, I want more of this today. Like, I want that so much more. I'm telling you, Teporah did this. Also today after service, the amazing and beautiful Sue Monahan will be leading the community in visioning. So if you would also like to stay and engage in the spiritual practice called visioning, which is for the community, for individuals, it's for a variety of things, but it's visioning, it's catching the vision. It's knowing what is Spirit's highest and best for itself as me and for us as a community. Right? So if you want to also be involved in that spiritual practice, type the word visioning or type the word both. So Tracy knows you're going to prayer and you want to be for visioning. Cool? So at this point, we anchor and ground in our closing, simply recognizing that everything that was said today is prayer. Every song, every meditation, every spiritual practice, every hand raised by the interpreters, it is all the divine moving and acting upon itself. And because that's what it is good, it is oh so good, it is healing, it is transformative, and it is the truth of what Spirit is, incarnating, demonstrating itself, manifesting itself, individualizing itself in, through, and as us, individually and collectively. And because we are what it is, all that it is, we are, we right here and right now declare and affirm answered prayer. We declare and affirm, knowing the truth of our being, we are a beloved community. And we are on the ground floor working to demonstrate and manifest a world that works for all. Why? Because it is already fully formed and fully functioning in the mind of God. That means that prayer, a world that works for all, is already so. Being love, being light, being joy, we simply let it be in gratitude, knowing it is already done. And so it is. Love you.